Ooh, man, I stepped outside this morning. It was cold, man. It's cold out there. Yeah, I went to take the pup out, man. And I'm in a t-shirt. Cause it rained last night. I'm in a t-shirt and some shorts. Got on some flip-flops, man. I'm thinking, okay, it was 80 something yesterday. Then it went down to like almost 70, 60 something. But I'm not thinking it could drastically change. Man, I went outside, man. I didn't even look at the temperature. I just went out there because I was taking my pup out and I'm like getting up. Man, I get out there, that cold hit me. Woo! Woo, it hit me, man. I was like, dang, it's cold out here. So I had to go back in the house and change up. Now I'm enjoying a delicious, nutritious breakfast. It is delicious. Turkey bacon, fried hard egg, and whole wheat toast. I really don't know. Do I have any talk? I really don't want to talk about it. I just want to come on here and enjoy YouTube. I'm really enjoying YouTube, man. I'm really enjoying YouTube. Just, I've been increasing the videos I do. And I've really been enjoying it. I think I really want to double down on my YouTube, on making these videos. Does that make me a content creator? Does that make me a content creator? Let me ask, man, what is a content creator? Really, what is a content creator? I have to ask that because nowadays, we all can turn on our phones and just start recording. Does that constitute us being content creators? Well, I know a lot of us out here, we bull jiving. What really makes a content creator? What's up, Page Master 12? Hello, world. I like to say hello, world. How are you? I'm great, man. So far, you never know how things go. Radish Rat Nayaka. I hope I said your name right. I like to pronounce names, even names from out of state, out of the country. That's all good. I'm enjoying some delicious turkey bacon, some some fried hard egg, and some whole wheat toast. Hey, this is good breakfast for old man. Tripolo fellow says, hello, old man. Well, hello there, old man. Back at you, buddy. Oh, this is so good. Oh, love me some bacon. Not gonna lie. And that is turkey bacon. Turkey bacon. How am I? I'm good. Hey. Sunrise. I know. Usually I make my turkey bacon, I put it in the oven. But no, I had to put this one in the skillet. Although my dog usually steal it, I still love it. But I'm enjoying it. Where I am, it's a little bit after 9 a.m. So this is your 9 a.m. Morning wake up report. Well, I asked earlier, what is a content creator? What is a content creator? Because we all get out here, we can turn on our phones, But a lot of times we get on here, a lot of us just say nothing that's irrelevant. Like we got a lot of stuff going on. It's 10:09. So you must be on the East Coast. East Coast? Where you in New York? You in Florida? Where you at? You're in the East. You're on the Eastern Time Standard, EST. Are you from Philadelphia? Because they got swept by the New York Knicks. Oh, West Virginia. New subscriber. Mommy Teal Lifestyle. Mommy Teal, thank you for subscribing, man. Everybody in here subscribe to me. I need new subscribers, man. Okay, Indiana. Are you a Pacers fan? They didn't make it. I am, sir, from Sri Lanka. What's up, Sri Lanka? That's where, what's that artist? MIA. I fly like paper, get high like planes. If you catch me in the road, yeah. She got kicked off the Kid Cudi tour. What you think about that, man? You're Sri Lankan. You like MIA? Ray goes live. This. Appreciate it, Ray. I'm just up a little early. I went and got me 2 packs. You in West Virginia? My family on my mother's side is Russian. Okay. Page Master. Oh, you like MIA? Yeah, MIA got kicked off the Kid Cudi tour. What's up with that? I fly like better, yeah, I like planes. If you catch me in the power. That was delicious. Thank you. I'm very humble. You know what I've learned in life? Being older, but still with plenty of youth left in me. Don't let the gray hairs fool you. Don't let the gray hairs fool you. You know what I've learned in life? Yes, everyone like, share, subscribe to the channel, man. I'm trying to build a more human effect. You know, I'm too old to be trying to be a go viral. Oh, I'm trying to go viral. No, I'm too old for that, man. But I do want to have success on YouTube. Listen, my mom will make biscuits, homemade biscuits with some bacon and cheddar cheese. Ooh, cheddar cheese biscuit. That sound good. I can't eat a lot of cheese because I'm lactose intolerant, and cheese will give me the poops. My booty will be beatboxing. But it still sounds good. Oh, you okay? You ain't gotta be sorry. But yeah, you know, I'm really enjoying YouTube. You know what, man? For a while, Sacidu 7072, what's up? For a while, man, I thought I'm like, man, you too old to be getting on YouTube, man. You know, they really ain't really rocking with you. I used to think, you know, because it's a younger, well, it's not a younger crowd, but the spaces I was going around were younger people. They were younger people. And you know, people at different ages got different flows, you know? Thanks for subbing. They got different flows. And I'm cool with that. I'm comfortable where I am. Yeah, I took my pup out. Yeah, I got a little pup, man. Where he at? Where'd my pup go? Well, I just gave him a treat, a little snack. So he probably laying down, man. But that's my little dude, man. I call him my little doobie dude. Yeah, my little pup, man. He's spoiled too, because I pick him up and carry him around like a baby. I'll pick him up because he's a small pup. He's a small. People in my country eat very spicy food. But you know what? Spicy food is actually good in preventing certain types of ailments. It is. You know, like I used to wonder why, like some of my Hispanic brothers, when they were working and they had a lunch, they would always have these hot jalapenos, these hot peppers. And I was like, man, why they be having them hot ass peppers? But it's good. I think it gives them some kind of vitality, energy, and also helps with ailments. So yeah, and that's age old wisdom. So y'all eating spicy food because y'all probably have low rates of certain ailments. I don't want to say what type of ailments because I don't want to have YouTube, whatever they do, but certain types of ailments, those spicy foods will burn them ailments up out of you. But yeah. And you've been doing it for ages. Your food has been spicy for ages. And y'all don't have a bunch of ailments that we have over here in the States. I like to say the States. I don't like to say America a lot of times. I like to pinpoint where I am in America, in the American continent, the North American continent, and that's the States. So over here in the States, yeah, y'all probably have better a low count of people with ailments, not like people over here in the States. And the more I communicate with people on a global level, like in other countries, the more I start understanding, like they see us different. They don't see us. When you say Americans to some people in other countries, they could be thinking South America, Brazil, Mexico, Panama, Canada. You know, these are all countries in the Americas. But for some reason, if I just say this, America, probably because I talk to you, say, oh, he's from the USA, or you know. But nah, we didn't need input from the peanut gallery. CM Bales, who is that? Oh, CM Bales, I'm white. I don't like to eat spices. Only control them. Then. So what are your thoughts on the current situation of the world right now? It depends, CM Bales. Which situation are you talking about? Derek says black fatigue. Yeah, you can have fatigue dealing with certain situations within the community, within that community, you know. Are into boys? What the f that means, Page Master? We did. I don't know what y'all got going on. Radish, my country invites you to spend the holiday, sir. We are a very hospitable country. Okay, I don't mind. You know, I'm getting older and I want to see other parts of the world. You know, I just do. I've been in the States all my life. Well, not exactly. I remember when I was in the Air Force Reserves. I was in the Air Force Reserves back in the late 80s, early 90s. And we went to Guam. We had a little mission in Guam and in the Philippines. But I didn't stay long enough to appreciate it. You know, I didn't stay long enough to really soak it in. So I think at this point, you know, I just want to start hitting some other countries, man. I want to go to Thailand. Everybody talks about Thailand. So I want to do that. I want to go to the UK. I definitely want to hit parts of the African continent like Ghana. I want to check out South Africa. I definitely want to hit India. And Israel. I want to hit Israel too. I want to get out there, man. I always think of myself as a worldly person who never got around the world, you know. So the world has been missing out on me. Yes. I think my true influence would be more worldly, because locally, I don't know. Leslie, hello. Hello, Leslie, what's up? Old Tardy, my homeboy likes you. Your homeboy likes me. I don't know your homeboy. My spice joke triggered the fools. Oh, man, very happy to chat with you. I am working now, sir. You see you later. God bless. Thank you. God bless, man. God bless. Have a good day at work. Radish, have a good day at work. You have 5 likes. Great. I wish I could get some more, Leslie. I wish people would tap. On other apps, you can tap the screen, tap, 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 tap. I be laughing sometimes when I be on those other apps, and people be like, tap the screen, tap the screen, tap, 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 tap. I'm like, what? Why did everyone leave? Because they don't like me. Man, people don't like me, man. And no, and because they see I'm older, people feel creeped out when they think somebody is just old like that or older. People get creeped out. It's like a ageism thing. And we've really come in this world, we've really come to despise our older people. And that's not good, because the older people is where the wisdom is. That's where the wisdom is. And that disconnect is dangerous for the world. If there's a culture, or a population that despises their older population, that culture is going down. That culture is going down. Sooner or later, that culture is going down. You can't despise the wisdom. Now, you have some ignorant, goofy, dumb old people too, but for the most part, you still have older people with wisdom that can help you, because a lot of those older people have made the mistakes that you haven't made yet. Because I know, man, when I was young, man, I was out of control. I mean, not as far as dangerous or something like that, but like out of control as far as not focused on the things you're supposed to be focused at a young age. You get a little job, you spend your money on material items just to look good and all this other stuff. You don't think about starting anything. You're not thinking about that when you're young. And when you get older, you have those regrets, like, man, I should have did this. I shouldn't have been hanging out in the clubs all night chasing women and all this stuff. That stuff catches up with you. It caught up with me at one point. It did. It caught up with me to where I was like, okay, man, I got to get my stuff together and make something happen for myself. I did it a little late. Me, myself, I'm going to say I did it a little late, but I still did it. Who, bro, you still here? Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm really enjoying myself. I don't know if you're talking to me or not. I don't care who's not here and who's here. I'm enjoying the technology. I'm enjoying the fact that I can do this on my phone right now. That's what I'm enjoying. So whether you're in here or not, whether you like it or not, I'm still enjoying this experience right now. And it'll be out there in the world for me to enjoy. I'm still enjoying this experience. Most older things are better, like people and cars and houses. Oh yeah, man, especially cars and houses. Your houses. My house is it's not that old. But cars definitely, man. If you can find a good vintage car that you can refurbish and get out there, I got a buddy of mine with a 442, a drop top 442. Man, he'll ride that till the wheels fall off. My house is like eight. Wow, your house is 80 years old. Wow, man, that's dope. Here in where I am, people don't really cherish older things. Like where I come from, we have a lot of older frame houses that the people that grew up in them, they didn't refurbish them, they didn't try to add on to them, they didn't do anything that added value to them where they can pass on. They kind of just let them go. Roofs caving in, old rotted wood, and they still was living in those houses. And a lot of them, well, I ain't gonna say what the problems were, but a lot of them, man, it's crazy. Yeah, it has these like hexagon looking arches and it's beautiful. Man, salute to that. And it's in great condition. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. If it's in great condition, you can't beat that. And it's something that that'll always be with your family, right? You can pass it down. But you know what, man? A lot of the younger kids, man, they want to live these trendy looking lifestyle. They want to have these trendy condos in the city, these trendy little mega mansions or whatever, or these houses and hills with the lights and all that. I don't know. I'm a traditional guy, so. Oh, that was good. Oh, yeah. But man, I'm in here early. I've never done a live. I've never done a live this early. I ain't never been here live this early. But I like doing it like this. I don't like those live streams with the million people on a panel and they're arguing, and that just ain't my speed. It's just not. I like doing videos and I'll do this. Other than that, but yeah, man, I'm coming here to rock out. I'm rocking out. YouTube, say YouTube, get my numbers up. YouTube, I'm talking to you right now. You seeing this live. You seeing this live, YouTube. Get my numbers up. I'm a numbers guy. Get my numbers up. Don't I look good on this screen, YouTube? YouTube, I'm talking to YouTube, and I'm talking to YouTube. Get my numbers up. Oh, welcome back, Page Master. I like that name, Page Master. Does that mean you like reading books? That's a lost art. That is a lost art. Do you know in some situations or some spaces or around some people, if you read books, they'll look at you as being weird? I'm like, man, I wouldn't have survived if it wasn't for books. And yes, you do love that beanie. Yeah. Yeah, man. It was cold outside, man. I got a whole bunch of them because it gets cool. And I learned one thing growing up, man. My mama always told me, so you won't get sick, always cover your head and your feet. If you do anything, always cover your head and your feet when the weather gets cold, And she's right. That's why I like to collect a nice beanie. I got camouflage beanies. I got Carhartt beanies. Yeah, I got sports because I'm a sports guy. I got sports beanies. Yeah. And yes, you love, but yeah, man, you got to, man. I know this world is changing and everything is becoming more digitized, and we got AI, which I do like some aspects of AI. Love the chat GPTs and Geminis. I like all that and the image and video generation. If you look at this channel, you'll see I have AI generated videos, man, and they're cool. Like I say, I love the technology. I love the technology. And but you still have to get knowledge for yourself. So that's still going to come from books. Reading books have saved me, especially in the environment I grew up in. Reading books saved me from a lot. It saved me from a lot because when I'm in a situation or if I'm dealing with a person, I can quickly recall reading a book that mentioned this particular situation or this particular person I'm dealing with and how that person dealt with it in that book. Because I like to read like autobiographies and I don't know what you call these books, but they're about like crime type books. Would they be like equivalent to a documentary where it talks about different personalities, different mentalities, and how they dealt with them. Like I read this book about this guy. He was from the U.S., but he was like a. I'm not gonna say he was like a CIA agent, but he was some kind of agent that traveled abroad, and he was in Asia, somewhere in Asia, and he was dealing with what's called the triads. And this is not talking down on him. It was just a book about that and how he dealt with certain particular personalities within those groups and how he dealt with it. It just reading books. I'm gonna tell you, reading books saved me in a lot of situations. It let me calculate things in my head, and that's what they're for. And some people, and some people ain't doing that. And because some people don't read, everybody's dependent upon these digital devices. What's up, DMville? Because everybody's dependent on these digital devices, they honestly and truly can't think for themselves because you haven't built a library in your head. You don't have a collection of books, a collection of passages and paragraphs that you can recall in your head of a book you read to help you deal with a certain situation in business. I've read those negotiation books. I forget the guy, I think his name was Robert something, but he used to have this book called How to Win at Negotiations. And I've used some of those tactics, and I may not have gotten the outcome completely, but I did get some of outcome that was favorable to me, more than less favorable. I'll just say that. I forget that guy's name. It's a book on negotiations, how to win in negotiations. Man, there's books. There's books on everything, man. There's books on everything that can help you having in your human experience. I love that your human experience, and that's what it is. Your human experience, because sooner or later, you're no longer going to be human. You're going to leave your human experience. And some people in books, people that have had a human experience before you have recorded their experience and they've handed that knowledge down. But we don't read. We'll just go on social media or look at a live stream and we'll hear somebody's half-cocked assessment of stuff that they didn't read. They've just been reading reports on social media, like Reddit and all this other stuff, and they'll just carry it and take it. No, man. Y'all need to get back into them books. For real. Y'all need to build I'm serious, man. And I slipped into this myself. At my age, I slipped into this bad attention span because I had got so digitized, but I had the wherewithal and the recollection in mind to yank myself out of it and get back into books. So I started looking for new books to read. Man, one of my favorite books to this day to read still is The Invisible Man. The Invisible Man is still one of my favorite books I could reread that book, and that book resonates more today. Is it Ralph Emerson wrote that book? Let me see who wrote The Invisible Man, because I got the book. I always forget when I'm on here talking. I'll forget who wrote that book. Invisible Man. I think it's Ralph Emerson. Hold on, let me see. Invisible Man. No, book. Invisible Man. Ralph Ellison. Yeah, Ralph Ellison. Ralph Ellison. See, none of y'all could even tell me who wrote the book. So that means you probably ain't read the book. But if you can, read Ralph Ellison's book, The Invisible Man. Man, it will help you. Now, if you're active in life, if you're a part of organizations, if you're just a part of life and you're trying to achieve something to make your life better, read Ralph Ellison's book, Invisible Man. He's reflecting on his experience or a fictional experience as a black man in America back in those times. I like to say those times. He's reflecting on, and he was like, man, I was treated this way here and I was treated this way here. And he chalks it up by it was like he didn't even exist. Honestly, it was like people treated him like he was invisible. Do you feel that? Especially you brothers, man. Do you feel in society that you feel like you're invisible? And I think a lot of emotionalism, high emotionalism, comes from feeling like you're invisible, so you have to act out or talk loudly or do these things to be visible to other part of society. And in my experiences, you really don't. In my experiences, the best thing you can be, especially with now today's times, the best thing you can be is invisible. Real talk. The best thing you can be is invisible. You're not seen, but I mean it in a way to where you're not seen, but you're felt. But you're felt. You know how some people say, be quiet, get money, something like that, because we know that your assets or your wealth, and I don't like to turn this conversation that way, but your assets or your wealth is pretty much going to determine what you were as a man. That part, stay out the damn way. Yeah. What's up, big dog? Big dog? Big dog, what you think about them New York Knicks? Ain't you from New York? What about them Knicks, man? They shut Philly down, man. They shut Philly down, man. And they shut the little homie Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese is from this area, man. They shut the little homie Tyrese Maxey down, man. I was like, man, Tyrese, because YNs are crazy out here. YN, say, man, I hate that term. And I'm not talking about you saying it. I'm living the Knicks right now. Okay. That term YNs, what people who use that term, the older people that you started using that term, and then you see these females on social media talking about the YNs, I'm really feeling the YNs. Y'all have given life and fire to that term. So instead of a YN feeling negative or bad about being called a YN, they actually take it as energy. So they act out more in what's called YN energy because now they love it. Walking around in broad daylight with shiesty mask on. Just up in Walmart with shiesty mask on. Even if they ain't stealing nothing. Or they ain't doing nothing shiesty, they're still walking around with shiesty mask on. I guess that's a message just to say, even though I'm chilling, it can go down because I'm a YN in a shiesty mask. And I'm like, come on, man. Why make people uncomfortable? I hate the term too, but shit, it is what it is. These people are stupid, Moses. Yeah, but social media drives this stuff now. Social media. And I understand the guys looking up to these rappers that are crashing out because they don't have people within their age range or people within their age range that can actually guide them on a positive path. Now we got brothers like, I like the young brother being X. And I think it's a few other brothers. There was a brother called Young Pharaoh. I think his name was Young Pharaoh. I think he was cool, but then now Ben X is cool, but Pharaoh starts showing fallacies. And when they could have guided the brothers or these young cats or YNs in a positive way or a more effective way, they guided them more to just crash out on everybody. Because that's the mantra. That's the YN mantra, just crash out on everybody. It don't matter what the color, the age, YNs, they just crash out on everybody and then run off somewhere and laugh about it. Take their shiesty mask off and laugh about it. Oh, man, that's what they do. I know because I've seen a cluster of them do it. you know, beat somebody up, rob them, run off, and then next thing you know, they're around the corner behind some building laughing about it. Oh my God! Oh man, they say gang. Man, we have a place, man, here in Dallas called Deep Ellum, man. And sometimes it could be overrun by YNs. And it's a big entertainment district. And there's plenty of buildings, tattoo parlors, plenty of clubs, bars. It's historical. It was a freedman's town. I ain't gonna say a freedman's town, but it was kind of like a freedman's town. It's called Deep Ellum. Look up the history of Deep Ellum here in Dallas. But now, on any given night, just go on Google and type Deep Ellum, ELLUM, Dallas. Just type, Google it, and you'll see. And it's really the top part. I'm giving a history lesson here. Social media drive everything now, not just that. Yep. It used to be, it's the top of Elm Street, downtown. Elm Street, but the free blacks that were there said, instead of saying Elm Street, the black people said Ellum. That's how, black folks country, Ellum. They said Ellum because that's how they saw it. And so it became Deep Ellum. Instead of Deep Elm, it became Deep Ellum. And it's just like any other freedman's town or where free blacks has settled. The local government authority did some what they call plans for progress, and they built highways and throughways right through where those black folks had settled. And it went right through Deep Ellum, and then it became this entertainment district later on. It became a real nice place for like young talent. As a matter of fact, that's where Erykah Badu really got her beginnings, her start as far as her artistry was Deep Ellum. Man, dude, I almost shed a tear. I saw Erykah Badu perform with Parliament Funkadelic, and the planets aligned. The planets aligned. When I saw Erykah Badu performing with Parliament Funkadelic, I said she finally was taken up in the mothership. Erykah Badu has been such a funky soul. I don't say soul a lot. I say funky because I'm rooted in funk. I'm rooted in Parliament Funkadelic. I'm from the mothership. P-Funk is my religion. It is. So when I seen Erykah Badu at the Grammy Hall of Fame ceremony performing with George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic, it brought a tear to my eye because it all lines up. It all lines up with the greatest, the original P-Funker of them all, and that's the great Sun Ra. Do your homework if you don't know who Sun Ra is. The great freestyle, improvisationist, jazz artist. I would say he's the alien that brought the P-Funk to George Clinton and all of those. I mean, James Brown, as far as an entertainer and all that, yeah, on the one. But the soul, the essence, the cosmic essence of P-Funk comes directly from Sun Ra. And Erykah Badu's last project with DJ Alchemist, she tuned into her inner Sun Ra. And I was like, yeah, she's doing Sun Ra. She's doing Sun Ra with that last project with the Alchemist. So she was almost there. She was slightly off axis. But when I seen her perform with George Clinton, George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic, I said it finally aligned. It finally aligned. She finally returned to the mothership. And it was one of the most beautiful. I hope that becomes an independent documentary piece that she either puts out or somebody. They have to, for the sake of people that P-Funk is our religion. She has to do that. She has to show the whole behind the scenes. She has to do that for us to enjoy, because we just got the Sun Ra documentary put out by PBS a few months back. We got that. And that just really brought just a comfort to my inner being, you know. But now that she's done this with Parliament Funkadelic, that whole behind the scenes, practicing those P-Funk scrolls. That's what I call the songs, is Parliament Funkadelic. P-Funk scroll. Performing those P-Funk scrolls. We have to get that. And that's when I will be at just a complete cosmic, just a complete peaceful cosmic mode, man. It's like returning to your home planet. Not your home continent or home country. You know, people say, man, you can go back to Africa. No. I want to return to my home planet. And you have to understand that. And it's not physically what you're looking at. It's my cosmic inner being. I want that to return to its home planet. Like Prince. Prince had a song called Artificial Age. Prince had an album. Y'all looked over that album. Y'all looked over a lot of Prince's later works, but that was one of my top 5 Prince albums, Artificial Age. He has these little sequences between the songs where, like, he's getting on a mothership and he's being guided by this voice, which sounds like an AI voice, but it's guiding him on what to do on his journey. And it's a song called Way Back Home. And he says he can't sleep because he walks in his dreams. He said it's hard for him to sleep. But what he's really saying is that it's close. And he knew it was his time. He knew it was his time because the dreams he was having, he was able to walk and see and feel things. You know, usually when you dream, you really can't feel and touch, and you really can't run. You really can't feel yourself moving in your dreams. But he could in these dreams. He could feel himself actually walking, and he knew, because this was an album that was made or released prior to his moving on. It's called Artificial Age. Listen to that album. He'll tell you, hey, I'm getting closer because I'm actually feeling my dreams. So he was actually splitting universes. He was splitting his time between universes. And the only way he could do that is through partial sleep. And man, dude, when I heard that song, and I still listen to it today, when I heard that song, I was like, man, this dude is telling us that he's leaving us. And it just really grabbed me. It really grabbed me. Did you wish your mama a happy Mother's Day? My mom passed away. I no longer have my mom. But I did spiritually. I didn't want to go to the grave site. I just didn't. Yeah. I miss my mom in a traditional sense. When when I saw George Clinton spit Rakim's whole rhyme bar, oh, you saw that video, bar for bar, I knew he was a real ninja. You talking about when he's taking a walk and he's what is that? I remember, what's that song? Cool. I don't get upset. I kick a hole in the speaker, put a plug, and I jet back to the lab without a mic to grab. That song, what is that song? The Microphone Fiend, EFFECT, a smooth operator operating correctly. Say, rock him. When he was taking, you talking about when he was taking that walk, and he was just talking, EFFECT, a smooth operator operating correct. Rock him. Let me tell you something, man. I lost touch with those. George Clinton was like 70 and he knew the whole. Yeah, you feel that. Because you feel it. And when you feel the flow of that, of his rhymes, of Rakim's rhymes, it's so smooth and cosmic, dude. Rakim is a cosmic being. He's not an earthly being that's just really into these materialistic stuff. That he's the nation of gods and earths. Some of them do it in name only and just to sound cool when they're saying the supreme alphabet and supreme numbers and all that. They just do it to sound cool. Some people were already cosmically attached before they became a part of it, and it's close to what they know within themselves. So they align themselves with the nation of gods and earths, which we call 5%ers. Some people, Erykah Badu, she aligned herself with the nation of gods and earths. But some people are already cosmically aligned. And that sort of falls into line with that. It is peaceful. It is a peaceful lifestyle, and it is a lifestyle that gathers knowledge and seeks knowledge. But some people do it to be cool or to seem like they're above or like they know something that everybody else doesn't know. And it's not about that. It's about you actually organically aligning with your cosmic self while you're still earthbound. That's the issue. We're still earthbound, and we're still looking for things that attach us, that align us with our cosmic selves. That's the issue. That's the issue for us, And I don't go around saying I'm a god of earth. I can't say that. I haven't done the lessons. I haven't affiliated myself with a territory, but I do appreciate it and I do feel it. I do feel it, and I know what it's trying to do. And people that become a part of it, like Erykah Badu and Rakim, they were already attached to their cosmic selves. They just needed something to help them align with that. Because when you're trying to do that, and you're still earthbound, you're going to go from religion to religion or from belief to belief, because you're trying to find something that connects that inner with the outer cosmically, not the outer as far as walking around and being materialistic. No, the thing that lifts you above all of this. It lifts you, even though you're still earthbound, it lifts you above the extraneous, and you'll notice a lot of these people, they become very minimalist. They don't need much. They don't need nothing at all. Anything they need, they can create themselves. They really don't need it. You see these people, they need the hottest new car. They always have to flex a new house or something just to show their work. But these people that are seeking that cosmic alignment, they're minimalist. They're minimalist. And some of them don't even have to wait till they get to a certain age. They automatically just start saying, I can do without this. I don't need that. When you finally attach yourself to your cosmic aligned self, there's a lot of things you won't need. You'll need less food, and it won't even bother you. Some people gotta eat every 2 hours. They gotta be eating something. But you'll see that it ain't even about the type of diet you on. Like, oh, don't eat this, don't eat that. Nah, you'll be eating less, and it won't bother you. When you minimalize yourself and figure out there's things that you don't need. There's a lot of things that have been programmed in us that tell us that we do need this. Oh, you do need them donuts and cupcakes and pies. Oh, you do need that steak and potatoes. Oh, you do need that glass of wine and that 6-pack of beer. You be around people that will enthuse that upon you. They'll put that upon you. But you don't need it. You realize it. And you don't have to grow old. You don't have to grow old to realize there's a lot of things in this world that you don't need. I love that phrase, be in the world, not of it. You'll realize there's a lot of things in this world you don't need, you don't really need. But you make things difficult for yourself by putting these titles on yourself, by saying, yeah, I'm supposed to be this. I'm supposed to be that. I'm supposed to look like this to these people. I'm supposed to look like that to them people. You don't have to look like anything. You don't. thoughts on the MJ movie? I haven't seen it yet. They say they make Papa Joe look bad, man, but I haven't seen it yet. And I'll probably wait till it comes to streaming. The only movie I might go to the theaters and see is The Mandalorian and Grogu. Or the new Evil Dead movie. The new Evil Dead movie, I might go see that. Or The Mandalorian and Grogu. I haven't seen the Michael Jackson movie, man. A lot of people seen it. They love it. They say that the guy that played Michael Jackson, my niece went to go see it. She says the guy that played Michael Jackson did his role perfectly. And that's great. But the thing about it is, I lived Michael Jackson. All those great moments, I lived them. I saw his performance at the Motown celebration when he did the moonwalk and everybody went crazy. But the thing about that is, we were already doing the moonwalk dance 5 years before that, maybe 5 years before that. Maybe we was doing that in junior high school or middle school. We called it the skate. That's what we called that dance, the skate. And I'm gonna tell you why we called it the skate. So do this timeline here. There's a song called Bounce, Rock, Roll, and Skate by Von Mason and crew. And it was saying bounce, doom, doom, rock, skate, boom, boom. And the skating rinks were big at that time. So there were some guys that used to pop lock, and I was a pop locker, but there was these guys that they were the trendsetters in pop locking. And they created that dance called the skate. It was called the skate. But when Michael Jackson did it some years later at the Motown anniversary celebration, he called it the moonwalk. When actually, I think a local guy named Robert, who was the king of that dance. I think when Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson them came down here to the recreation center, I think Robert Booth showed that dance to Michael Jackson. Because Michael Jackson, and I'm not taking anything away from Michael, because when he did it, it was fly. It was fly when he did it. But when we saw it, when I saw it, I said, man, he doing the skate. He doing the skate. But when they asked him, he said, it's called the moonwalk. And we was like, what? We didn't call it that. But we didn't just go, we didn't trip on it. We was just tripping because he did it years later, because when he did it, it was already outdated for us. It was already outdated. We didn't do it anymore. As a matter of fact, instead of the skate, which he did backwards, we started doing it forward. We would start trying to do the skate dance forward. It was the skate and then the forward skate. And you've seen a lot of dancers or entertainers like Genuine. I think Genuine did it good. All those dancing R&B singers. Genuine would do it good. Usher, they were good at it. Dude, that was a dance from that dance started in 77, 78. I think it was 77, 78. And it was called the skate. But we don't trip on that. But I miss Michael Jackson. I miss the essence of Michael Jackson. I miss the essence of Prince. There are some other singers or entertainers, not all, I call them oracles. They kind of are signals. They're kind of signals to our creator to show that there's still beauty here, to show that there's still harmony here. And when all those oracles, and Michael Jackson ain't going around saying he was an oracle, or Prince did either. They would just do it by example. So now they're gone. We're losing our oracles. And when all our oracles are gone, that's when the world will plunge into complete savagery. What you think is the apocalypse is not just this whole worldwide destructive where the earth cracks and all this other stuff. It's just the madness that overcomes the world when all the oracles of the world, wherever they are gone. Michael Jackson, Prince, and I'm saying they're by example. They're not going around saying they're oracles. They're just living a life and doing it by example. And once all of those oracles are gone, nah, no, NBA YoungBoy's the new oracle. nah, nah. NBA YoungBoy. Um, I like how he carry himself, even though they put all this stuff on him and all this other stuff. Man, he's just a guy walking around kind of cool. He's kind of like a black street rap Elvis. I saw him in France. I saw him, and sometimes I'd be wondering, man, is this dude high? I'm like, this dude high? Because he's so just cool and he just be looking like, I've never seen him. I mean, when he was younger, he used to be amped up. But as he's gotten older and has went through what he's went through, he'd be like real chill. I saw him in France at a fashion show or something, and they just surrounded him, and he was just looking like, So I was wondering if he was high or not because he was so peaceful with it. And that impressed me. That impressed me. So he's really embracing his stardom or his celebrity. He's really embracing it, and he's not allowing everything to just be in his face. And I like that about him. Even though I don't really listen to that music and stuff like that, but I look at the person. I look at the person. And he's had a drug problem for years. Okay. What's up, badass 93 Stain Gang? What's up, man? Yeah. To me, this is what I'm gonna do. To me, he's like the rap Rick James. That's what I'm going to compare him to. He's like the rap Rick James. He's like the Rick James of rap. Just like, to me, Big X the Plug, he's the Barry White of rap. He has that baritone voice. He has that big body, and he has his hair like in those twists where sometimes it looks like his hair is permed. Yeah, those two, I can look at older artists that when I was growing up, I can look at them and I can compare them. And I can say that NBA YoungBoy is like the Rick James of rap, and Big X the Plug is like the Barry White of rap. Oh, you say he's been on pills? Hey, I think he has some psychological issues too, to where he may be using pills, overusing them. Because I'm sure some of those pills he's taking is prescribed for his psychosis. Because he has some childhood trauma. His parent are Generation X. I'm Generation X. And I know we wasn't the most responsible generation. And I know some of us in Generation X are still trying to recover from our past. So that's what I say. So I think he's a victim of that. So yeah, so a lot of those kids and grandkids of Generation Xers, sometimes they may need some psychotropic drugs or some drugs to help them cope. I hope those don't become his demise. I hope they don't become his demise, because I kind of like the character of NBA YoungBoy. Like I said, I don't really listen to that music, but I do like the character. Whenever you see him, he's always in a chill mode, a relaxed mode, or an appreciative mode. And I think he's just taking in the world around him. So maybe he'll get to that cosmic status. I'm extending that to him. I hope he gets to that cosmic status. A lot of you, I'm hoping you'll get to that cosmic status. And to find what you need to take you away from the noise. Because a lot of y'all, I don't think y'all like removing yourself from the noise. I think y'all like walking into the noise and enjoying it. I don't think that's a good thing. That definitely doesn't align you cosmically, or it depends on the noise itself. Leslie, you're back. Leslie Camerazale. I appreciate you coming in and out. Bro, the last guy was rude. Who's the last guy? Stain Gang? Badass 93 Stain was rude. Nah, man. Just come in here. Just come in here and flow through. Just come in here and flow through. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do, man. Oh man. I didn't think I was gonna be on here this long, man. But I enjoy these. I enjoy these. He put all of us in sub only, everyone. All of us in sub only, everyone. Sub only, sub only. I don't have a subscription only. I'm not monetized. I'm not monetized. Bro, the last guy was rude. He was high and back. Yeah, I'm not monetized. Huh. Thank you. I'm not monetized. I don't think so. So help me get monetized for whatever it's worth. For whatever it's worth, he was rude. He was cussing us off. Somebody was cussing in here. I didn't see anybody cussing us in here. I don't know, guy. You know, because this is just a singular vertical live. So I guess I need to find out more about that. Leslie Cameron. Yes. Okay. Well, if you Camerzale, I want to say your name right, Camerzale. Well, if you Leslie, maybe you can help me or send me some comments on how to navigate this. You know, I wish they would add more emojis. Now I'm looking at some tools over here on my live. I know you can't see them, but I can see these tools over here on my live. There are only like 6 of them. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't. You know what I like, and I'm glad you brought that up, Les. You know what I like about YouTube more and more is that you can do everything within the app. Like if I want to make an AI video and put myself in it, I can do it in YouTube through YouTube Create now with their AI stuff. They use VO3. I think they should add 50 emojis, at least 50 emojis. They should open up the entire emoji library. But I like YouTube is becoming an all-in-one. I don't have to go to one app, create an AI video, and then bring it into YouTube. I can create that AI video or my own video. I can create it in the YouTube Create app and load it right into YouTube. And I like that about YouTube. I'll never talk down on the technology. Whose debt hit you harder, Pac or Big? That hit me harder, I would say Pac. I didn't familiarize myself enough with Big for his death to hit me hard. It shocked me. It shocked me when it did happen. I did like his second album more than his first. He had some nice cuts on that first album. The One More Chance remix, Kick in the Door. Nah, that's on the second album. That's on the second album. So I think there was only only a couple of songs that I liked on the first album, but the second album, Life After Death, man, I could listen to that album almost all the way through. That was a perfect album. But Big, I didn't familiarize myself enough with Big, but I would say Pac's death hit me harder. It hit me harder. One, because it was Pac. And Pac, man, those Pac lyrics, when he really gets into his bag, he digs into his soul and he's with them lyrics, man, they could hit the revolutionary stuff, the social issue stuff. And when he could do it to a badass beat, man, the Thug Life album. I'd rather be your N-I-G-G. No. No, not that album. That's from All Eyes on Me. It was a song on the Thug Life album. Man, straight balling. Yeah, straight balling. That song on the Thug Life album, that's one of my favorite Pac joints, even though that's Thug Life, but that a straight balling, Man, straight balling. I think that's the name of the song, Straight Balling. I could be wrong, but I remember that song. Trying to check my BI. I used to have this girlfriend. She loved that out. She loved that song too. But she loved it because she heard me play it over and over and over. Man, she started reciting the lyrics. Time to check my BI. I'm straight balling. Yeah, man. Yeah, Pox that hit me harder. And I did a video where I asked if Tupac was still alive today, would he still have an impact or would he be canceled? I did that. With Pac today, knowing Pac's lyrics, some of Pac's lyrics, especially from that All Eyes on Me album, that double album, would Pac still have an impact today or would he be canceled? You know, because these people today, they were going back on some of these old artist material and canceling them because of certain songs, man. And I miss that death row era. I do. I really miss that death row era. The loss of Pac started the downward fall of death row. You know, because I think when Pac came to death row, they kind of handed it over to him. You know, I think Snoop kind of took a step back. I think everybody took a step back and to see how Pac was going to take death row. And when that happened, man, that pretty much started the downward spiral of probably what I'm going to say was the best independent record label in rap music. Nothing will come close. I don't care who you are now or whatever. Nothing will come close to the impact and the excitement that Death Row Records brought to rap music. It just did. It superseded everything. It superseded everything before it. Def Jam, all those other labels that came with Def Jam, Jive. It superseded all of that, and nothing that has come afterwards has really been able to replace it. Not Rockefeller, Love Master P, but not No Limit, not Cash Money. None of them have been able to replace the impact that Death Row had. Just can't. And that's not just because of Pac. That's because of how they built it up. The Chronic, Doggy Style, Dog Food, Murder Was the Case. Man, just those five right there supersedes any other project. Historically, Pac would have turned into Kanye and went full MAGA. He died before he became the villain. You know what? Without it, I hate to say it this way, but the loss of Pac opened it up for all of them. Dude, if Pac was still around and Death Row was still doing what it was doing, all those other labels that came after, Rockefeller, they wouldn't be as half as impactful as they were when Death Row was in his prime, still around, kicking up dust. They just wouldn't. Death Row Records overshadowed everything. Suge Knight overshadowed everything. Everything. Yeah, we've had moguls come after, but they hadn't matched the impact. They just haven't. And nothing ever will in rap music. Nothing might ever. The popularity and impact that Death Row had supersedes, man, Aftermath became what did. No, it didn't. No, it did not. Aftermath had its moments with Eminem, but nah. And no shun or whatever to Dre and what Dre did, or 50 Cent, nah. Dude, there would be no Aftermath had Death Row had not started falling. And here's the thing, even though I do big up Dre and his production, they were still kicking. They were still kicking. Dre didn't have to put out another Chronic. People were, once Pac came to Death Row, people wasn't waiting on another Chronic. And Daz Dillinger was spearheading most of that production. And Daz is cold. I'm serious. You would have thought Warren G was a part of Death Row. He wasn't, but he had one of the best G-Funk albums outside of Death Row, if not the best. But Aftermath didn't become what Death Row was. No. Aftermath was quiet. Because Dre is a back of the play the back type guy. He's not a in your face guy like Suge was, like Pac was, even like Snoop was. They're not in your face guys. Dre is like a more withdrawn personality. So he didn't have the personality to put Aftermath in your face. You only heard good records from Aftermath, and then when you bought the album, you saw the Aftermath stamp on the album or the CD or whatever. No, Eminem was big, but Eminem was big as a pop artist also, which diluted his rap credit, even though he was a hell of a rapper. But most of the pop crowd was fascinated by Eminem, being that he was a white guy spitting raps like that. And black folks were amazed at his rap skills. He is one of the GOATs in rap. I'm not going to take nothing from Eminem, but he didn't make Aftermath bigger than Death Row. 50 Cent didn't make Aftermath bigger than Death Row. And those are the only artists on Aftermath that really just took off. Aftermath may have had some other artists, but Eminem and 50 Cent was it. Death Row had Snoop. They had Dre one time. Snoop, Daz, Corrupt, Pac, Lady of Rage, and all these other guys that were just coming behind them dropping stuff. Man, Death Row was a force, man. Death Row was a force. But it was built on that gangster. It was built on that gangster, you know. And that gangster is real, but that gangster can also crash itself out, as gangster will do. But now nothing, and I think Charlemagne the God said this. He said nothing will ever be like Death Row. And when he said that, I said it before he did in my head. I said, we'll never have nothing like this. And then when I heard him say it, it just kind of stamped what I said, even though I didn't need him. But you'll never, they're still doing content on it today. Go to Bomb First, Reggie Wright. Go to Bomb First. In any other channel, what's the other one? I forget it, man. It's got MC8 and all those guys. But go to Bomb First with Reggie Wright. Man, that conversations about the old Death Row days and Pac and back and forth. Dude, it's still viable, still significant to hear it today. It's some of the content creators today are still getting their springboard talking about something that happened with Pac, Death Row, or Suge Knight. Still today. Death Row ended in the 90s, for real. Death Row, after Pac, that was 96, right? So their crash was in the 90s. We're in 2026 and still talking about Death Row and Suge Knight and Pac is still some of the top content in certain environments here on YouTube. That's how impactful Death Row is, not was, is. Now, the iteration that Snoop runs, I guess he's doing it differently. And it's good to see that. You know, you can kind of be nostalgic and reminisce. But dude, the original iteration of Death Row, nothing will come close to that. Not the guys in Atlanta, the QC with the Migos and all that, none of that. And like I said, the era of the independent rap record labels is over. It's over, you know. They're just in name only. They're in name only. Death Row owned what they did. They just didn't have artists that put out good albums. They had personalities that actually walked around and ran them streets. You know, other labels came along, was good for that time, but they only satisfied that particular time. Death Row would have continuously been a problem. I'm serious. A lot of them labels that came after Death Row, if Death Row was still in its prime, Pac was still around and they were still doing it, they'd have another 10-year run. They'd have another 10-year run. So that was around the time Rockefeller, Rough Riders, No Limit, Cash Money, they came after that. But if Death Row was still around, if Suge was still around and Death Row was still what it was, you would hear of those other labels, but they wouldn't have the impact. Yeah, they'd be in the area, but when Death Row came around, Death Row would run the whole thing. And that is what it is. You know what? I done said enough. I done said enough. Somebody might hear this and be like, man, what that dude talking about, man? I don't know, man. He putting us down. He dissing, man. He dissing so-and-so. I ain't dissing nobody. I'm just telling it like it is and like it was. I'm just doing that. And if you're listening, you know it's true too. And if you don't agree with me, do your homework. Do your own homework. Like I said, the first place you can go is go to the channel Bomb First with Reggie Wright. You can do that first. Shh, man. And Reggie Wright came later. He came around the time of the loss of Tupac. The stuff leading up to Tupac, before Tupac came to Death Row, was just as impactful. Man, please. Murder Was the Case. That Murder Was the Case. Man, come on, dude. Let's stop it. Let's stop playing with ourselves. That's it, man. I'm gone, man. I'm gone.